Ripple/US dollars. First off, read this disclaimer carefully. Okay, so Ripple, it's one of the cryptocurrencies. You can see it here. Pretty, decent performance here from the 52-week lows. So let's just first go to the website. So instantly move money to all corners of the world. Discover why 3,000 plus financial institutions choose RippleNet to find new customers in new markets, expand services, and deliver the best experience in global payments today. Global payments should be easy. Too often, global payments are costly, unreliable, and slow. The underlying systems are fragmented and complex. RippleNet offers the most advanced blockchain technology for global payments, making it easier for financial institutions to reach a trusted, growing network of 300 plus providers across 40 countries and 6 continents. So everywhere, reliable, low cost, instant. The biggest issue, for cryptocurrencies is the cost factor. So it's very important that they are addressing that. Okay, so here you can see, their company, 350 plus employees, 9 global offices, and 300 plus customers. Here you can see some of the history. Here is the leadership team. Yeah. Let's now first look at the seasonality. So XRP/US dollars, this is the percentage of months in which this pair closed higher than it opened. You can see that November is one of the weaker months, so the seasonality, it's a bit, yeah, there's issues with seasonality. So this here is the long-term picture for this pair. So the way any kind of currency pair works is that when price is going up, it means that Ripple is strengthening vis-a-vis the US dollar. So, within this entire time frame, we have 1,307% gain, and that's, taking into account this complete crash. What I find very interesting here about Ripple is that it seems like we are forming a rounding bottom. A rounding bottom, it is a technical pattern, a very widely recognized pattern in which we go from a situation of the bears controlling to basically like a standoff where there is equilibrium, and then the bulls start to build momentum. A rounding bottom can take a long time to form. It can also go deeper, so there's no guarantee that this is the low of the rounding bottom. But the tricky thing about the rounding bottom is that, so let's draw a bit here. Okay. So, if this is like a classical rounding bottom, one of the best times, of course, to buy a rounding bottom is around here. If you wait all the way until you get up here and you get a breakout of the rounding bottom, then of course you can look back and see, oh, here's a rounding bottom. But the problem is that you have waited too long. And that's the thing with all technical patterns. As an example, let's say you have a head and shoulders pattern like this. So if you want to short a head and shoulders pattern, one of the best places to short it is here or here. If you wait until you have a break like here of this neckline and then you go short, of course it can work out, but there's always the annoying risk that we're going to go like this and then we go like this. So it can be. That's not the tricky thing about any kind of pattern. In technical analysis is that when it is fully confirmed and everyone can see it, it might be a bit late. And this is my thesis here. This looks like a rounding bottom in development, hence for bullish long-term opportunities, this isn't the shabby entry point. If you have a long-term perspective, that is. We are seeing some increase in accumulation distribution here, some rather significant increase. That's interesting here on the weeklies. It shows that even though we haven't really made that much progress, there are buyers stepping in. If you look a bit at the RSI, let's look at the correlation here. So there's a minus 28% correlation with the S&P 500. If we go here to daily data points, so if we zoom in here, you can see the surrounding bottom more clearly. Was this the low of that rounding bottom? I mean, it is very hard, of course, to make that call. And the problem, as I just said, if we wait until you get that breakout in the future, then there's a lot of gains that you can lose out of. So let's say that it continues to rally and you get a breakout. Well, the breakout would be around here. That's 163% above the current level. That's quite some time to wait, and that's a lot of gains to potentially lose out on. What makes this even more interesting here is this red 200-day moving average. Resistance, resistance, resistance. It's been a very relevant level. Well, what was once resistance has now become support. This further corroborates now a more bullish thesis here for Ripple. Looking at the daily data points, we have a very clear increase, a sharp increase here in the accumulation distribution line, strongly suggesting that there is some sophisticated money that are loading up on positions here. On the daily data points, we actually have a positive 70% correlation with S&P 500. The thing about statistical correlations, of course, is that they can change over time. So it's important to look at the trends. So here you can see, that the correlation was very negative way back here, and it's been, so now it's one of the, if you look at the history here, it's one of the highest positive levels it's been. So the statistical correlation is likely to revert back to the mean. Yeah, all in all, I mean, this is just simply very, very interesting. Very, very interesting, actually. So as far as, looking at the technicals, you could make a bullish case here. I do like that, when we look at Ripple's website, they are addressing some of the concerns people have with the cryptocurrencies. Is it actually being used in the real world? That's always been this issue, but that's something that Ripple is addressing. They want it to be actually used. It's not simply going to be some speculation, some get-rich quick scheme. Further, there are the issues with costs. The costs, as long as there are costs for trading, for exchanging, Ripple back and forth, then that will be a hurdle. Because if I, send fiat money from one person to the other person, that person will get exactly what I sent. There isn't those transaction costs. So that's a hurdle that simply needs to go down to 0. But all in all, long term, I am bullish on cryptocurrencies. I do think that it is a major issue that many of the cryptocurrencies are designed such as in a way that in which they will increase in value, potentially quite significantly, and that makes it far more difficult for people to use it for commerce, because if it can go up like 30% or down 30%, it completely limits the extent to which you can use it in the real world. So that's an issue. But all in all, I like the theme. Whatever you do, of course, don't fight the trend, and may the trend be with you.